Ladies and gentlemen, we often find ourselves looking outward for change. We look for solutions in people, in circumstances, in our jobs, or even in our communities. But the truth is, the real power for transformation lies within us. It's in the choices we make, the thoughts we entertain, and the habits we form. If you truly want to change your life, you must start by focusing on yourself. And it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process. You can begin to transform your life in just 3 days, but only if you're willing to make a conscious decision to change. The first step is simple. Decide to take responsibility for your own life. Too often, we wait for things to change on their own, or we blame others for our struggles. But the truth is, we are the ones who hold the keys to our future. Change begins when we take full ownership of our actions, our thoughts, and our attitudes. It's easy to say, I'm just a product of my circumstances. But that's not true. You have the power to rise above your circumstances. It all begins with a decision, and it's a decision that you can make today. The second step is to recognize the power of your thoughts. The Bible tells us, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your thoughts shape your reality. Shape your reality. If you wake up every morning thinking about your problems, your failures, or your limitations, that's exactly what you'll continue to experience. But if you shift your thinking, if you begin to focus on what's good, what's possible, what's positive, then you start to attract those things into your life. Change doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you deliberately choose to think differently. And it starts with your mindset. It starts with your mindset. For the next 3 days, make it a point to filter your thoughts. Every time negativity creeps in, replace it with something positive. Don't allow your mind to dwell on fear or doubt. Instead, choose to dwell on hope, on the possibilities, and on the truth that you are capable of more than you realize. The third step is to take action. It's not enough to think positively or to wait for the perfect moment. You must take deliberate action toward the life you want to create. The life you want to create. You may not know exactly how everything will unfold, but that's okay. Faith is not the absence of doubt. It's the willingness to act despite it. When you take the first step, even if it's small, you create momentum. And momentum is a powerful force. In the next 3 days, take one action each day that moves you closer to your goals. It may be as simple as making a phone call, writing down your dreams, or setting a small goal for yourself. But whatever it is, take action. Your life will begin to change when you move from merely thinking about your dreams to actually doing something about them. I want you to understand that change doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require perfect conditions, or for the perfect conditions, or for the perfect time. It only requires a willingness to focus on yourself, to change your thinking, and to take action. In just 3 days, you can begin a transformation. And remember, you don't have to wait for the world to change. You have the power to change yourself, and in doing so, you will change your world. When things aren't going the way we hoped, it's natural to look out for the source of our struggles. We may say, if only my boss would recognize my potential, or if only I had more support from my family, or even if the world wasn't so unfair, my life would be better. It was unfair, my life would be better. While these thoughts may feel valid in the moment, they rob us of our power to change. If you truly desire a shift in your life, you must begin by taking full responsibility for where you are right now. This doesn't mean you are to blame for everything that has happened to you, but it does mean that you hold the power to decide how you respond, what you believe, and ultimately, what actions you take moving forward. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that the choices you make each day have an impact on your life. You are where you are today because of the decisions you've made in the past, both the ones you've consciously chosen and those you've unconsciously allowed. By recognizing this, you can also realize that the decisions you make today can change the trajectory of your future. So many of us want to blame our circumstances for our lack of progress. But the truth is that circumstances do not define us. Our response to them does. We can't always control what happens around us, but we can control how we react to what happens. In taking responsibility for yourself, you also stop giving away your power to external factors. You stop waiting for someone else to change, and you stop hoping for your life to improve without making any changes of your own. The truth is, nobody else can make the decisions for you. While others can influence us, only we have the final say in how we will move forward. No one else can change your attitude, your work ethic, or your beliefs unless you choose to let them. If you truly want to change your life, it begins with a decision that you are responsible for your own happiness, success, and fulfillment. This means that you are no longer a passive participant in your own life. You are an active force in shaping it. Taking responsibility for your life also means owning your mistakes, failures, and setbacks. We all make errors and we all face challenges. But when we take responsibility, we do not dwell on them or let them define us. Instead, we learn from them. We see them not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. Every mistake carries a lesson, and every setback is a chance to adjust and improve. If you look at your past through a lens of responsibility, you will start to see that each experience, good or bad, has shaped you into the person you are today. If you can embrace this truth, you can begin to make more informed and empowered choices going forward. The power of taking responsibility is that it gives you a sense of control over your future. The minute you stop blaming others or waiting for the perfect circumstances, you reclaim your ability to create change. Instead of feeling helpless or stuck, you recognize that you are the one who can make things happen. You are the one who can change your mindset, adjust your approach, and take the actions needed to achieve your goals. This sense of control is not about trying to force everything into your will, but about understanding that your actions, your decisions, and your beliefs have a direct impact on your outcomes. When you take responsibility for your life, you also become more intentional. You no longer live in reaction to what happens to you. Instead, you live with purpose and direction. You start to make choices that align with your values and your vision for the future, not just based on what is easy or what feels comfortable in the moment. It means looking at your life with a critical eye and asking yourself tough questions like, am I living in a way that reflects my true potential? Am I making choices that serve my long-term goals? What is within my control that I can change today to improve my life tomorrow? These questions can be uncomfortable, but they are necessary for growth. Taking responsibility is not about beating yourself up for past mistakes or missed opportunities. It is about accepting where you are, acknowledging your power, and choosing to move forward with intention and purpose. Only when you accept full responsibility for your life can you begin to harness the power to create the future you desire. Your thoughts shape your reality more than you realize. The way you think about yourself, your life, and the world around you directly influences your experiences, your actions, and ultimately, your future. It's easy to dismiss the power of thought, but if you pay close attention, you'll notice that your mind is constantly at work, either for or against you. The truth is, what you believe about yourself becomes the foundation for how you navigate life. If you think you're incapable, if you think you're not worthy of success, then those beliefs will dictate your choices and actions. You'll unconsciously make decisions that align with that belief, often self-sabotaging before you even have a chance to succeed. But if you choose to think differently, if you choose to see yourself as capable, worthy, and deserving of success, you begin to take actions that reflect those thoughts, opening up opportunities that were once closed off. The power of thought is not just in the conscious decisions you make, but in the quiet moments of your life when you're not actively thinking. It's the inner dialogue that happens when you wake up in the morning, the conversations you have with yourself when things get tough, and the automatic beliefs that come up when you face challenges. These subconscious thoughts are often the ones that hold the greatest power, because they are the ones that guide your behavior and determine how you feel about everything that happens to you. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thinking. Start by recognizing the negative patterns that exist in your mind, the self-doubt, the limiting beliefs, the fear. Once you recognize these, you can begin to intentionally shift them, correct them. A simple but effective way to change your thinking is by focusing on what's good, what's possible, and what's positive. It's easy to focus on what's wrong, what's lacking, or what's difficult. Our minds naturally gravitate toward problems because we are wired to look for threats and solutions. But if you want to create lasting change, you must deliberately choose to focus on the good. What are the things in your life that you can be grateful for? What are the strengths you possess? What are the possibilities that lie ahead? When you focus on these things, you train your mind to seek out the positive, and in turn, you begin to attract more of it into your life. Gratitude, in particular, is a powerful tool for shifting your mindset. When you take time to acknowledge the good in your life, you shift your energy and perspective, allowing you to see opportunities where others might only see obstacles. Changing your thoughts doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on what you can control and believing that no matter how difficult things may be, you have the power to overcome them. Life will always present challenges, but the way you respond to them begins with your thoughts. Instead of looking at a challenge and thinking, "This is too hard for me," choose to reframe your thinking. Tell yourself, "I can handle this." I have the strength and resilience to get through it. Even in moments of uncertainty, this shift in thinking can provide the strength and clarity you need to move forward. It's also important to understand that changing your thoughts takes practice. It's not enough to have a single positive thought and expect everything to change overnight. Your mind has been conditioned over years of thinking in certain patterns, so it will take time to rewire it. But every time you catch yourself thinking negatively and choose to think differently, you are building new neural pathways that will support your growth. Over time, this process becomes easier, and you'll notice that your default thought patterns shift from negativity to positivity. You begin to see the world differently. Not as a place full of limitations, but as a field of endless possibilities. Another aspect of shifting your thinking is changing the way you talk to yourself. Your inner dialogue is a reflection of your beliefs, and if you constantly speak to yourself in a harsh, critical way, you are reinforcing the negative beliefs you hold. Instead, choose to speak to yourself with kindness, compassion, and encouragement. When you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, remind yourself that mistakes are part of the learning process. When you face challenges, instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I will find a way through this." The words you speak, even to yourself, have immense power. They shape your reality just as much as your thoughts do. Your thoughts are not just passive. They are active creators of your reality. When you choose to focus on what's good, what's possible, and what's positive, you open up new avenues for success, fulfillment, and growth. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become the creator of your life. By taking control of your thoughts, you begin the process of changing your life, one thought at a time. Taking action is where change truly begins. It's easy to talk about what we want to achieve, to dream about a better future, and to plan for success. But none of that matters unless we take the first step forward. Change doesn't happen by simply thinking about it or wishing for it. It requires movement, effort, and initiative. Even the smallest action sets the wheels of transformation in motion. It's in the doing that things start to shift and momentum begins to build. So many people get stuck in the cycle of overthinking or waiting for the right moment. But the reality is that the perfect conditions rarely ever come. The perfect time to start is now, with whatever you have, wherever you are. The key to taking action is not waiting for everything to be perfect. If you're waiting for everything to align just right, for all the stars to be in place, then you may find yourself stuck in the same place for a very long time. There will never be a perfect moment, and there will always be challenges or reasons to hesitate. But progress comes when you stop making excuses and take deliberate steps forward. Even small actions, taken consistently, can lead to monumental results. Whether it's making a phone call, sending an email, taking a class, or simply writing down a goal, each action you take moves you closer to where you want to be. In fact, action is what bridges the gap between intention and reality. Many times, people feel overwhelmed by the size of the task in front of them. The goal may seem too big, too distant, or too impossible. But the key is to break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Instead of looking at the grand vision and getting paralyzed by its enormity, focus on what you can do today, right now. What's one thing you can do to get closer to that goal? Maybe it's as simple as committing to an hour of focused work, reaching out to someone for advice, or starting a project that you've been putting off. It doesn't have to be a huge leap. Just a small step. The more steps you take, the more confidence you'll gain. And before you know it, those small actions will compound into something much bigger. Taking action also requires overcoming fear. Fear often holds us back from pursuing our dreams or going after what we want. It whispers to us that we're not good enough, that we'll fail, or that we're unprepared. But here's the truth. Fear is not a sign that we should stop. It's often a sign that we're stepping into something new, something important, something that requires growth. The most successful people aren't those who never experience fear. They are the ones who feel the fear and do it anyway. They don't let fear paralyze them or keep them from moving forward. Instead, they push through it, knowing that each step, even in the face of fear, is a victory. Action also fuels momentum. When you take a step forward, it creates energy that propels you to take the next step. And with each step, you begin to build momentum that carries you toward your goals. When you don't take action, however, you remain stuck, and momentum doesn't have a chance to build. It's easy to get bogged down in hesitation, but once you take that first step, it's amazing how quickly things can start to move. Action breeds confidence. The more you act, the more capable and empowered you begin to feel. You look back and see how much you've accomplished, and that realization will give you the courage to take even bigger steps. It's also important to understand that taking action doesn't mean you need to have everything figured out. Many people hesitate to move forward because they feel they need to have a perfect plan, or they fear making mistakes. But the truth is, action doesn't have to be perfect to be effective. In fact, you'll learn more from taking imperfect action than you ever will from overthinking or procrastination. Mistakes are part of the process. They are simply opportunities to learn and grow. When you take action, even if it's not perfect, you gain valuable experience and insights that can inform your next move. Every action, whether successful or not, teaches you something that gets you closer to your goal. Furthermore, action builds discipline. The more consistently you take action, the more you build your capacity for discipline, focus, and perseverance. It's easy to get discouraged when results aren't immediate, but consistency is the key. Small actions, repeated daily, compound over time and lead to big results. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, your dreams will remain just that, dreams. But with it, you can turn those dreams into reality. Taking action is not just about moving forward in the big moments, but about showing up every day and doing the work, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem at the time. The truth is, your life will not change until you take action. No amount of planning, dreaming, or thinking will get you to where you want to go if you don't move your feet. The power lies in what you do, not what you think about doing. If you want to see change, you have to create that change by acting, even when it feels hard, uncertain, or uncomfortable. Action is the catalyst for transformation, and it's the one thing that can move you from where you are now to where you want to be. Faith is often misunderstood as the absence of doubt, but in reality, it's the ability to move forward despite doubt. It's easy to feel confident when everything is going well, when the path ahead seems clear, and when there are no obstacles standing in the way. But true faith is tested when you encounter challenges, setbacks, or uncertainty. It's in those moments of doubt that faith becomes most powerful. Faith is not about ignoring fear or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about choosing to believe that you can overcome those challenges, even if you don't have all the answers or see the whole picture. Having faith means trusting in something greater than yourself, whether that's your own abilities, a higher power, or the process of life itself. It's knowing that even when things don't look the way you imagined, there's a plan unfolding that is bigger than you can see in the moment. Faith is about holding on to the belief that your efforts, even when they seem small or insignificant, are moving you in the right direction. It's about trusting that your actions will bear fruit, even if the results are not immediately visible. Too often, people give up too soon because they don't see the immediate return on their efforts. But faith tells you to keep going, to persist even when you don't have immediate evidence of success. It's about believing that what you're doing matters, and that, in time, the results will come. Faith requires patience and resilience. It's easy to take action when everything is going according to plan. But when things don't unfold as expected, when obstacles appear, or when you face challenges that seem insurmountable, it's easy to lose faith. Easy to lose faith. However, real faith is not about the absence of difficulty. It's about continuing to take action and move forward in the face of difficulty. It's about recognizing that obstacles are part of the process and that they often serve as lessons or stepping stones on the path to success. Instead of seeing a setback as a roadblock, faith helps you to view it as an opportunity to grow, adapt, and become stronger. With faith, you see the bigger picture, recognizing that growth and transformation often require periods of struggle and difficulty. Another key aspect of faith is persistence. Faith is persistence. Faith is not a one-time decision or a fleeting belief. It's an ongoing commitment to continue moving forward, even when it feels like you're not making progress. When you take action and face setbacks, it's easy to want to quit. But faith pushes you to keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's the belief that what you are doing will eventually bear fruit. When you persist through challenges, you build not only resilience, but also confidence in yourself and your ability to navigate obstacles. Faith is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting that the answers will come in due time and that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. Faith also empowers you to take risks. Too often we play it safe because we fear failure, but faith encourages you to step outside of your comfort zone, to take risks, and to do the things that scare you. Without faith, you may hold yourself back, doubting your ability to succeed or worrying about the potential consequences of failure. But with faith, you understand that failure is not the end. It's simply part of the process. It's through risk-taking that you learn, grow, and uncover new opportunities. When you step out in faith, even when the outcome is uncertain, you open yourself up to possibilities you would never have encountered otherwise. Faith also allows you to trust the timing of your life. So often, we want things to happen according to our own schedules, but faith teaches us that there is a timing to everything. Not every opportunity is meant to come into your life at the moment you think it should. Faith means trusting that the right things will come to you when the time is right. It requires you to surrender control and let go of the need to force things to happen on your own terms. The more you trust in the timing of your life, the more you can relax and let the process unfold. None. You begin to recognize that things don't always go as planned, but that doesn't mean they won't work out. Sometimes the path takes a detour, but those detours often lead to places you never could have imagined on your own. Ultimately, faith is about believing in the unseen. It's about knowing that even when things don't look good on the surface, there is something greater at work. Faith helps you to hold on when everything seems uncertain, to trust that the seeds you plant today will grow into something beautiful tomorrow. It's the understanding that everything is part of a greater plan, and even when you can't see how things will unfold, you trust that they will. Faith is not about having all the answers, but about being willing to take the next step, even when you don't know exactly where it will lead. It's the courage to move forward despite doubt, fear, or uncertainty, knowing that you are supported by something greater than yourself. When you understand that change begins with you, you begin to realize the immense power you have in shaping your life. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that your circumstances or the people around you need to change before you can have the life you desire. However, the true source of transformation is not external. It lies within you. The moment you take control of your thoughts, actions, and decisions, you unlock the potential to create the life you want. Change doesn't require waiting for the perfect moment or for things to fall into place. It only requires a shift in your perspective and a willingness to take ownership of your own transformation. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is that you are the author of your own story. While you cannot control every event that happens to you, you have the ability to control how you respond to those events. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, but your ability to rise above them depends on your mindset and actions. If you let your circumstances dictate your life, you will forever be at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But when you focus on yourself, when you take responsibility for your actions, thoughts, and beliefs, you begin to write a new story. One where you are in control. One where you are in control. This idea of focusing on yourself doesn't mean being selfish or ignoring the needs of others. It simply means taking the time to recognize your own worth, your own potential, and your own desires. It's about making yourself a priority so that you can show up as the best version of yourself in every area of your life. When you focus on your personal growth and well-being, you not only improve your own life, but also become a better partner, friend, and contributor to the world around you. By becoming the best version of yourself, you inspire those around you to do the same. Change begins with self-awareness. To transform your life, you need to take an honest look at where you are and where you want to go. This requires introspection, a willingness to examine your habits, your thought patterns, and your emotional responses. Are there areas of your life where you're holding yourself back? Are there limiting beliefs that are preventing you from reaching your full potential? Often we are unaware of the thoughts and patterns that keep us stuck. But once you bring them into the light and confront them, you have the power to change them. This awareness is the first step toward taking control of your own transformation. Focusing on yourself also means taking responsibility for your own happiness. Too often, we look outside of ourselves for fulfillment. We believe that if we just have the right job, the right partner, or the right circumstances, we will finally feel complete. But the truth is that happiness is not something you can find in external circumstances. It is something you create from within. When you focus on your own personal growth and well-being, you begin to cultivate a sense of inner peace and contentment that is not dependent on anything outside of you. You no longer give away your power to other people or situations. Instead, you take control of your own happiness and make it a priority to nurture yourself. This focus on self-improvement is not about perfection. It's about progress. The journey of personal growth is ongoing, and it's about making incremental improvements every day. By focusing on yourself, you begin to make small, consistent changes that lead to long-term transformation. Whether it's developing healthier habits, shifting your mindset, or learning new skills, each step forward takes you closer to the life you desire. The key is to keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps may seem. Over time, these small changes accumulate, and before you know it, you have completely transformed your life. When you focus on yourself, you also begin to let go of the need for external validation. So often, we seek approval or recognition from others to feel worthy or successful. We compare ourselves to others and measure our progress based on what others are doing. But when you focus on yourself, you stop looking outside for validation. You start measuring your success based on your own standards, your own values, and your own progress. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone else because you are confident in who you are and where you're going. The power of focusing on yourself also lies in setting clear intentions. When you take the time to define what you truly want in life, you create a roadmap for your future. Without a clear direction, you may find yourself drifting aimlessly, reacting to whatever life throws at you. But when you set specific goals and intentions, you take control of your path. You begin to make decisions that align with your values and move you closer to your desired outcome. Setting intentions helps you stay focused and motivated, even when things get tough. In the end, focusing on yourself is the key to unlocking your true potential. By taking responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and happiness, you shift from a mindset of waiting for things to change to one of actively creating change in your life. It's about realizing that the power to transform your life is already within you. When you make the decision to focus on yourself, you stop being a passive participant in your life and become the active creator of your future. In conclusion, the path to transforming your life begins with a shift in perspective, a commitment to action, and the belief that change is possible within you. When you focus on yourself, take control of your thoughts, and take consistent action, you create the foundation for growth and success. See you through growth and success. Your thoughts shape your reality, and your actions bring your dreams to life. Faith helps you push through challenges and doubt, allowing you to trust the process, while persistence keeps you moving forward, even when the road is difficult. Ultimately, by taking responsibility for your own journey, you unlock your true potential and start living the life you've always desired.